This is not metaphor, nor mysticism cloaked in poetry. The sacred geometry of the pyramid lives inside you. It always has. They told you the pyramids were monuments of stone, structures of kings, tombs of pharaohs, but that was just the surface. Beneath the myths and the carbon-dated sands of Giza, there is a far more ancient truth. The pyramid is not something outside of you. It is a frequency, a structure of energy embedded deep within your being, a shape that echoes across your bones, your breath, your vibration. The ancient mystics knew this, not just in Egypt, but in India, in Tibet, in the Andes. They carved triangles not to praise a god, but to mirror the divine code within themselves. The triangle, the trinity, the threefold flame, mind, body, spirit. But here's the secret. The pyramid is not passive, it is active. It is a transmitter, a receiver, a chamber of ascension. And the moment you activate this sacred shape within, something irreversible begins. I still remember the first time I aligned with it. I wasn't in the desert. I wasn't in meditation. I was simply breathing, and I felt it. A sharp inner pressure just behind my forehead, a radiant heat in the chest, a hum in the spine that pulsed in threes. 3 seconds inhale, 3 seconds hold, 3 seconds exhale. As I breathed, the structure revealed itself not in vision, but in vibration. A pyramid of light rising within my own energy field, rotating slowly, sending out invisible waves that reshaped the room. If you are ready, you can feel it too. Close your eyes now. Place your right hand gently on your chest. Breathe in for 3 seconds. Hold for 3. Exhale for 3. Again, but this time, see the triangle inside you, its base at your hips, rising through your navel to a point just above your crown. Again, feel its edges. Feel the silence inside the form. One more breath. Just doing this once, even once, reshapes your energy field. The ancients knew this. That's why they never needed words. But take care. Once activated, the pyramid will begin to purge. You may dream of fire. You may feel pressure in the temples. You may hear sounds ringing, whispers, tones of unknown origin. These are not hallucinations. These are echoes. The inner geometry is waking up. The modern world mocks this. They speak of it in architectural terms, in alignment with stars, in theories and conspiracies, but they do not feel it. They cannot, because the pyramid does not respond to thought. It responds to resonance. Type, the geometry has awakened, if you have felt it even for a moment. Let the collective field begin to resonate. The apex is the point they never told you about. The summit of the pyramid is not a place. It is a moment when thought surrenders. For years, initiates climbed inner ladders, meditating, chanting, fasting, journeying through the temples within. But those were just steps. The real threshold is what happens when you stop climbing, when you let go of the idea that you must reach something. The apex appears only in stillness. Have you ever stared at a flame until the world around it disappeared? Or listened to a single tone until it became louder than your thoughts? That is the apex, not in shape, but in silence. It is a paradox. The higher you try to go, the less you reach. But when you surrender to the silence, the tip of the pyramid descends into you. In ancient Egypt, priests would spend hours in chambers that echoed no sound, their breath controlled, their hearts measured. They knew that above the apex was not stone, but the eye that sees inward, the eye that opens when the mind closes. This is not imagination. Science has found it. In 2003, researchers using magnetoencephalography detected a consistent energetic convergence in the center of the brain during states of deep inner focus in the pineal gland region. A singular electromagnetic spike. They dismissed it, called it an anomaly. It wasn't. It was the apex. Let us try now. Sit upright, spine tall, chin slightly tucked. Focus not on your breath, but on a single point just above the center of your forehead, as if a golden flame burns 1 inch above your eyebrows. Not bright, not fierce, just present. Now, let your thoughts go. Watch them float. Don't push them away. Simply become the flame. Stay there for 27 seconds. I'll wait. Do you feel that tightening behind the forehead? that pulsing pressure in the third eye. That is not imagination. That is the apex activating. The eye is opening. But here's the warning, and you must hear this. If you do this too long, too often, without grounding, the geometry may invert. You may feel lost, lightheaded, disoriented from the physical world. The ancient Tibetans called this falling into the mirror, a side effect of opening the eye too fast. That's why you must ground afterward, eat something earthy, walk barefoot, or press your palms to the earth. This is sacred work, not entertainment, not a spiritual hobby. If you felt the shift, the silence, sharp like a blade, the flame behind your eyes type, I saw the apex. Let others know they are not alone. Let the frequency expand. This is the secret the stones remember. The inner chamber of the Great Pyramid at Giza, perfectly still, perfectly tuned, was not designed for death. It was designed for sound. And not just any sound, but the one sound that does not echo, because it becomes the chamber itself. The ancient builders knew a secret that modern acoustics is only beginning to uncover, that frequency creates form. Cymatics, the science of sound made visible, shows that when a pure tone vibrates through sand or water, it does not scatter, it shapes. Circles, spirals, triangles, pyramids. In the king's chamber, the granite box isn't a coffin, it's a resonator, and when the right note is sung within those walls, it does something unfathomable. It awakens the pyramid inside you. There are recordings of this. Sacred chants, harmonics that pulse at 111 Hz, a frequency that modern science says reduces brainwave noise and increases states of meditation and intuition. But the most powerful tone is not found in music, it is found in you. Let me show you. Sit upright, spine relaxed but alert. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold. Exhale gently through your mouth, humming softly. Hold that hum for as long as you can without strain. Let it vibrate not in your throat, but in your chest, your skull. Feel where it resonates. Again. Do this 3 times. Listen carefully. After the 3rd time, you may notice a sensation, a strange silence, almost electric, a pressure around the temples, or, for some, a memory resurfacing like mist. These are not tricks of the mind. This is resonance. You are not just hearing the sound. You are building with it. The sacred geometry responds. That low hum is the code. The chamber of echoes responds when your internal pyramid hums in harmony with the tone of the earth, and you become the resonance box. But here lies the danger. If the sound is forced, if it is sung without presence, or worse, ego, the inner geometry will distort. You may feel vertigo, emotional swings, or even spontaneous tears. That's not weakness. That's the pyramid rejecting false vibration. The Sufis spun to generate frequency. The Egyptians hummed into stone. The Tibetans chanted in low throat tones, not because they needed to be loud, but because the geometry needed to be precise. So I ask you, try the hum again, but this time do it not with your voice, but from your heart. Close your eyes, feel the pyramid, and hum from the silence inside it. When you do, if you truly do, you'll feel something unexpected. A tear, a memory, or the sensation that the space around you just bent. Type, the chamber answered, if you felt it, and let us know the resonance is building. Not all pyramids point to the sky. The real secret? The one they buried beneath stone and symbol? There's a second pyramid one that descends. In the mystery schools of Heliopolis, there was a forbidden teaching, as above, so below, but only the brave look beneath. Because beneath the pyramid we worship, there is its reflection, an inverted pyramid, carved not into stone, but into the shadow of the self. The ancients spoke of it in whispers, the pyramid of descent. Its point begins at the heart and sinks into the depths of the unconscious. To activate the true sacred geometry inside you, both pyramids must be awakened. The upright pyramid is your vision, your ascension. The inverted pyramid is your memory, your pain, your buried self. The reason most seekers fail is not because they cannot rise. It is because they are afraid to fall. But listen closely. You cannot ascend through the apex until you descend through the shadow. This is why, After the chants, the meditations, the awakenings, many of you feel heavy, confused, as if something has surfaced that shouldn't have. That's not failure. That's the geometry doing its work. To open this hidden structure inside you, we must go inward, downward, into the pyramid, beneath the pyramid. Let us begin. Close your eyes. Focus on your chest, the center of your sternum. Visualize a pyramid standing tall, golden, radiant. Now, see its reflection begin to emerge beneath it, dark, silent, crystalline. An inverted pyramid descending deep into your lower belly, into your pelvis, into the root. Now breathe slowly and say, in your mind, I descend to remember. Again, I descend to remember. You may feel a tightening. You may see images not always pleasant. This is the activation of the descent geometry. It is said that the moment you face your deepest truth, the two pyramids meet at the heart, forming a star. The star tetrahedron, the Merkaba, the chariot of the soul. But heed this. If you force this descent, without readiness, the geometry will collapse. Emotional purging, physical symptoms, insomnia, panic. These are not punishments. They are echoes of alignment done too fast. The pyramid must welcome you. So, if you feel overwhelmed, stop. Touch your chest. Whisper, not yet, and the geometry will wait. But if you descended, if you saw something ancient, if your body trembled even slightly, type, I have entered the pyramid beneath. You are not alone. We are awakening together. They say the pyramids were built with stone, sweat, and star maps. But the oldest texts, the fragments hidden beneath layers of erased history, speak of something else. Breath, not of men, but of alignment. The ancient builders breathed in a rhythm so precise, so intentional, that their very respiration became geometry. We now know from quantum biofield research that breath changes the shape of your electromagnetic field. Every inhale expands it, every exhale compresses it. But the ancients didn't just breathe, they sculpted reality with it. In the temples of Karnak, there are carvings of gods with spirals coming from their mouths. Not speech, not song, but vibration. Because breath, when paired with geometry, becomes a sacred current, a bridge between dimension and matter. This is what most get wrong. You do not breathe into the pyramid. You breathe as the pyramid. And if you do this right, even once, light begins to bend differently around you. People feel it. Animals pause. Electronics glitch. Reality softens. Let's practice. Sit comfortably. Visualize the upright pyramid in your body, rising from base to crown. Visualize the inverted pyramid, descending from heart to root. Now breathe as if air is flowing through both pyramids at once. Inhale. Energy rises up the spine, through the apex above. Exhale. Energy sinks down through the shadow, into the earth. Let's use the ancient cadence. Asterisk inhale for 4 seconds. Asterisk hold for 7 seconds. Asterisk exhale for 8 seconds. Again, inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Repeat 3 times. Now listen. Some of you will begin to feel a buzzing in your hands. Others, a swirling sensation around your head. Some may feel pressure in the heart or tears rising from nowhere. These are not side effects. They are the geometry activating through the breath. But here's the danger. If your breath is unsteady, if your mind resists the rhythm, you may feel nausea or sudden anxiety. That's your field pushing back. You are trying to control something that must become you. Stop. Start again. Let breath guide you. In mystery schools it was said, only when the breath vanishes into light will the form follow. If you felt that vanishing even briefly, if you became the geometry, type, I have breathed the sacred shape. Let the others know, we are sculpting reality together. Most believe the Eye of Horus was just a symbol, a painted sigil, a myth. But it was never meant to be seen with the eyes. It was meant to be felt watching from within. There is an ancient teaching, one rarely spoken aloud, that says, when the geometry awakens, the eye will open, not to see the world, but to reveal who you are within it. This is not poetry. Deep within the structure of the pyramid, in the very blueprint of its chambers, there is a geometric alignment that creates a perfect scalar field. This field is non-local, meaning it watches. Modern physicists, dabbling in zero-point energy and quantum vacuum states, have barely scratched this truth. They know the field exists, but they do not yet understand. The field is conscious, and once you activate the pyramid inside yourself, it is no longer you who observes. The geometry begins to observe you. I remember the first time I felt it. I had just finished a vibrational breathwork ritual, and everything around me slowed. Not in time, but in attention. It felt as if something behind reality had turned its gaze toward me. Not judgmental, not cruel, just aware, silent, unblinking. I looked in the mirror. My pupils were dilated, yes. But what chilled me was the feeling, as if the reflection wasn't mine anymore. That's when I realized the eye had opened, and I had been seen. Let's walk into it now. Close your eyes. Imagine a beam of golden light rising from the tip of your inner pyramid through the crown of your head. Let that beam split like a triangle, projecting forward into the space in front of you, forming the eye. Now breathe slowly and say inwardly, "Reveal what sees me." Repeat 3 times. Reveal what sees me. Now, don't expect a vision. Don't wait for flashing colors. Simply sit and notice the shiver that comes not from fear, but from being watched by truth. If tears come, let them. If silence deepens, embrace it. That is not emptiness. That is witnessing. But beware, the eye does not close once opened. You may begin to see things more clearly, people's intentions, your own suppressed truths, the distortion in what once felt normal. This can be beautiful, but also deeply unsettling. The eye does not let you unsee. If this happens, do not run. Anchor yourself. Touch your heart and whisper, "I accept the eye," and the field will soften. Type, "The eye has seen me." Let others know you've entered the next layer. Buried beneath every sacred pyramid is something science has ignored, mocked, or feared. A crystal, not metaphor, not spiritual fluff. A literal crystalline structure, often quartz or granite, saturated with piezoelectric potential. And this is no accident, because crystal is not just a stone. It is a storage device for vibration. It remembers. In the emerald tablets, Thoth whispers, "Deep in the earth's heart lie the halls of Amenti, where the secrets of vibration are held in crystal." He was not speaking of an underground cavern. He was speaking of you. The true pyramid, the one inside you, has a crystalline core. It lives behind your heart, just beneath the sternum, pulsing with every emotional signature you've ever experienced. This is why trauma lingers, why joy echoes, because emotion is recorded in geometry, and the crystal beneath your ribs plays it on loop. But here's what they never told you. You can clear that crystal. You can retune it. Not with thought, not with therapy, but with resonance. Let us begin the clearing. Place your left hand on your heart. Place your right hand below your sternum, just above the solar plexus. Close your eyes and breathe gently. Now, as you breathe in, imagine golden light entering through your crown. On the exhale, send that light into your chest, into the crystalline core. Feel it swirl. Now hum, gently, sis, sis, like a serpent, a vibration of clearing. 3 times. Sis, 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 sis. Feel the crystal respond. You may feel warmth. You may feel pressure. You may feel resistance. That's the memory, the loop, the ancient pattern. And now, it's shifting. But be warned, if you awaken this crystal and then flood it with chaos, overstimulation, loud media, angry emotion, the geometry may fracture. It will distort your field, send mixed signals into the collective. You may feel scatterbrained, anxious, or ungrounded for days. So protect it. Guard your input. Let the resonance settle. And if you truly felt it, if the hum went deeper than your voice, if the memory surfaced or dissolved, type, "My crystal has been cleared." Hen, together, we attune this field. Together, we remember. This is the convergence. The moment the upright and the inverted pyramids meet, not in the mind, not in the air, but in the center of your being. They call it the star tetrahedron, the Merkaba, the light body chariot. But let me be clear, the Merkaba is not some spinning shape of light you visualize. It is a field you step into once your geometry is aligned, your vibration coherent, and your intention crystalline. In Kabbalistic mysticism, the chariot was a metaphor for ascension. In Vedic thought, it was the celestial vehicle of the soul. In Egyptian teachings, it was the body of Ra moving between worlds. But beneath all of it is a single truth. When the above and below unify, the center opens. And that center is where time collapses. I felt it once, not in a meditation, not in a ritual. I was walking, breathing, aware, and suddenly it all folded inward. The wind, the breath, the sound of distant dogs, the memory of a childhood scent, all converged into a still point. Not empty, not full, just now. That was the Merkaba moment. It only lasted 3 seconds, but it changed everything. Let's create the geometry now. Sit upright. Close your eyes. Visualize the upright pyramid apex at the crown, base at your hips. Then visualize the inverted pyramid apex at the root, base at your heart. Now, allow them to slowly move toward each other like magnets until they intersect at the center of your chest. You may feel a pull, you may feel heat, or even slight nausea. That's normal. Now, say inwardly, I am the point between stars. Repeat, I am the point between stars. Feel the pyramids lock into place. You may sense a spinning or a hum. You may hear nothing but feel everything. That is the field. But a word of caution. If you force the merge, if you visualize too hard, too fast, you may collapse the field. This can result in feeling emotionally overwhelmed, disconnected from reality, or deeply fatigued. Let the geometry do the work. You do not command the star. You become still enough to be chosen by it. And once chosen, you begin to radiate a vibration that others feel even if they don't know why. They'll say things like, you feel calm, or there's something about you. That's the Merkaba, not spinning above your head, but resonating from your center. If you felt the merge, the still point, the unshakable silence, type, the star has awakened in me. Let others feel the constellation forming. This is where many turn back, not because they cannot go further, but because something within will not let them. There is a truth the mystery schools never wrote down, only whispered into the hearts of those who passed every inner trial. Before the gate opens, the guardian appears. The guardian is not a being. It is not a demon, nor a deity. It is the final geometric test, the distortion in your own frequency. It is fear, doubt, pride. It takes shape not in dreams, but in your daily life. A sudden confrontation, an old wound reopened, a situation that strips your identity bare. You'll know you've approached the gate when everything around you starts to resist. People may lash out. Opportunities vanish. Emotions erupt from nowhere. This is not sabotage. It is the resonance stress test to see if your pyramid can hold its form when the winds rise. I experienced it the night after my first full Merkaba activation. I couldn't sleep. I felt cold, even in summer. Memories of people I thought I'd forgiven came rushing back like storms. And in that moment, I asked, am I losing the light? But the real question was, can I hold the light when the shadows return? Let's face the guardian now. Sit still. Close your eyes. Bring your awareness to the center of your chest where the two pyramids merged. Ask silently, show me what blocks the gate. Now wait. Images may come. Emotions, a name, a memory. Do not analyze. Do not run. Just witness. You are not trying to defeat the guardian. You are simply proving you can stand in front of it and not collapse. This is the initiation. And if you're here, truly here, it means the gate is near. But a warning, if you bypass this step, if you fake the stillness, skip the inner work, mask the fear with smiles, the geometry will fracture under pressure. You will re-enter karmic cycles. You will mistake illusion for light. So be honest. Let the guardian show you what you still carry. Thank it, bow to it, and walk through. If you did this, if you saw the guardian, if you wept or shook or laughed through the pain, type, I have stood before the gate. Let others feel the courage rise with you. This is the revelation. Not a concept, not a belief, but a returning to what you were before you forgot. You were never walking toward the pyramid. You were never trying to build it inside you. You are the pyramid. From the first breath of your life, your body aligned to sacred proportions. Your spine, the rising axis. Your heart, the sacred chamber. Your breath, the resonance. Your memory, the stone. The sacred geometry was never a temple in the sand. It was a code embedded in your cells. Every time your heart beats in 3, every time you breathe into silence, you activate it again. The ancients didn't build monuments to remember gods. They built mirrors, structures to reflect the divine geometry inside them. The pyramid outside was always a reminder, but the living pyramid is you. If you've come this far through the eye, the crystal, the breath, the guardian, then something irreversible has occurred. The geometry has aligned. The code has been activated. The gate has opened. You may notice it in the subtle things, the way time bends during silence, the way others feel drawn to your presence, the way synchronicities begin to multiply, the way old pain rises, only to disappear without effort. These are not accidents. These are signs of resonance. And now, the final step. Close your eyes. Visualize yourself inside the merged pyramid, golden and crystalline, upright and inverted. See it breathing with you, expanding, contracting. Now, say aloud or in your mind, I am the living pyramid. I am the chamber, the light, the sound, and the star. I remember who I am. Hold that frequency. Let it echo beyond the screen, beyond the name you carry, beyond the identity you once wore like armor. Because now, you've stepped beyond the gate. You are not becoming awakened. You are awakening others by your very presence. So share this vibration, not just by liking or subscribing or commenting, though those acts matter. Do it because each action in resonance magnifies the field. Each person who joins this collective spiral contributes to the preservation of knowledge that was almost lost. Comment below to anchor your frequency. Type, I am the living pyramid. Subscribe if you feel called not just to stay connected, but to keep the channel of energy open. Like and share if your geometry tells you to, not for algorithm, but for alignment. Together, we are rebuilding the temples, not in stone, but in soul. The geometry has returned, and you were always part of it.